I went into the whole chemo with, I want to try and keep my hair if I can. And if I can't keep all of my hair, I want to keep enough of my hair to be able to come to you guys for you to sort it out, which is, I think, about 10%.
Yes, yeah.
So I was really, really determined. It was one of my things. I was just going to go in, and whatever the pain, I was going to suffer it with this cold cap on. Actually, it wasn't as bad as I thought. It's really cold when they first put it on, and it's a bit of a shock. But after about 10 minutes, your head goes quite numb, and you can't feel it anyway. And you know, do something else, listen to music, do anything, distract yourself. And then you've got to keep it on for an hour. Then they start your chemo treatment. You've got to keep it on throughout that, and then for an hour or so afterwards. So the whole process takes about 4 hours. It does make it a lot longer.
Yes.
But your hair falls out, you know, less quickly and more gradually than it would do if you didn't use the cold cap. And that's what I was after.
That's what you were aiming for.
That's what I was aiming for. And then once I had my interlace system on, which was after my straight after my second chemo, it could have been after the first one, it just happened to be after the second one. Then I went back into the chemo suite with this really huge full head of amazing hair, and they thought, what are we going to do with this? You know, and they weren't sure actually whether the cold cap would work, because I had all of this hair on top of my own
in
hair.
amongst your own, yes.
In amongst, all woven in. And they said, right, okay, we're going to wet your hair, really, really soak it down so that it really does freeze to your head. So that's what they did, sprayed it all, put the cold cap on, and then it literally froze to my head while I had the treatment done. But that really worked. And actually, it was more bearable because I had all this extra hair woven in. It was almost like a protection against my scalp, against the cold. And it wasn't quite as bad as the previous time.
When it had gone straight onto
your scalp. When it had gone straight onto the, you know, the sort of bald patches of my scalp. So, and it worked all the way through because I managed to keep pretty much all the connections. They didn't fall out. So the cold cap did its job.
You had 5 chemos, didn't you?
Yeah.
And for over 3, 4, 5 months?
Yeah, I completely chickened out of the 6th one, mainly because my hair was sort of still there and hanging on to my system, my interlace system, and I just didn't want that to go. But actually, in hindsight, I probably could have done the 6th one, and everything would have been fine, because other friends of mine have gone through the whole chemo rigmarole and have been fine and hung on to their interlaces. And what was amazing going home from chemo was, you know, you don't feel great on the day, but at least when I got home, I could hop in the shower, I could wash my hair, I could blow dry my hair, I could look at myself in the mirror and look, you know, look normal. I could forget what's just happened, forget the place I've just been. You know, that you could just carry on as if nothing had ever happened, because you've tricked your mind into thinking nothing has.
That's very healing.
I look fine. I've got to be fine. You know, look at my hair, it looks amazing. I've just blow dried, it looks great.
Were you aware that your hair was continuing to lose, to come away, even though you had the interlace, giving the impression it was all there? Were you actually aware?
No.
Oh.
No, I wasn't. I mean, you'd find the odd strand on the floor, but I think it was all, if it was coming away, it was all kind of trapped amongst, trapped underneath, whatever. And the only time I knew actually that I'd lost quite a lot of hair was when I went to see the oncologist for my checkup, and she said, let's have a look at your hair, and I could feel at the back it had gone, but over the crown of my head I didn't know. And she said, yeah, it's gone here, it's gone here. I didn't care, I couldn't see it.
Yes.
So unless I'd gone with a, you know, a magnifying glass and tipped myself upside down, you'd never know.